Hey guys, it's Jonathan here. So I wanted to bring you something special this month. So while I am getting ready to release my next song, I wanted to kind of do a little video series to kind of show you the studio process. So kind of how the inspiration for a song comes together in the story, and then the lyrics, the melodies, and then more of the studio process, like the vocals and putting instruments in together. And so this is just a little video series that I call the making of. And so I'm going to talk about my first song, Just Want to Be Me, and kind of how that all came together, because to me it's a really inspirational song and I wanted to kind of showcase all the pieces of it. So let's get started. So where does the idea for a song come from? Pretty much your life experiences are the things that will shape a song. I have talked a lot about my story, especially with Just Wanna Be Me, when I posted that YouTube video, and if you haven't seen it, you can check it out on my Facebook page, on my feed. And I'll just bring up a few little things here in this video, just so that you know kind of the experiences that I went to. I want to kind of look at some reference songs that I've used, and then some of the lyrics that I had written before I had them finalized, and kind of the meaning that I had behind all of them. So we're going to talk about that right now. Alright, so here's a picture of me at 18. I pretty much felt worthless as a human being and felt judged by those around me for not doing what I should have been doing to reach what they thought was my full potential. I was just in that place, where a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds feel like everyone is watching them and expecting them to be perfect, when you're just getting ready to make some pretty major mistakes as a full-on adult. Now, around this same time, I was always listening to music because it's easy to throw in the car and all the time at home. And as I was graduating, I was listening to one of my favorite albums, Can't Be Tamed by Miley Cyrus. Now, we all know Miley's story, and if you don't, let me recap. Another teen idol who starts to carry a more mature image of herself, and the world doesn't like that. Classic story, and although I wasn't famous, I could definitely relate to Miley because of these songs. I felt like I was in this bubble my whole life, and then once I finally wanted to start making my own decisions, people were totally against it. It really screwed up my mental and emotional health. A lot of the songs on the album just really spoke to me. There were messages of like breaking out of past shame and living your own life without anyone telling you how to live it. Lyrics like, "It's a liberty walk," "Saying goodbye to the people who tied you up," and "Don't change me," "Stop telling me I'm part of the big machine," and "I'm not your robot, I'm just me." So before I had gone to the studio to make my own music, I had gone to a different studio for a while and just had recorded some Miley covers and then posted them on YouTube, and just kind of, it was more for me to do it, but I also kind of wanted to see what people would think about my covers. But then I decided I really wanted to do my own music, and so that's when I literally just Googled like music studios in Provo, Utah, and then I looked for the place that I felt like would be good for me. And so I did that at Vox Fox Studios in Orem. So that was a pretty cool thing. And so then the producer and I decided like what kind of song would we want to write for my first song like ever, kind of a big deal. And like what was the message that I wanted to get across to people? What was my story? What was going to intrigue people about me? What was different, I guess, about me than I guess other people? Or why was my story unique? And I guess I just wanted my story to be relatable to people. I wanted people to be able to relate to being 18, 19, and 20, and those times in your life when you feel like everybody is expecting you to do all these things, and you're like, I'm still just like, I still feel like I'm 17 and I'm still just learning, like I'm still growing up, I have so much time to learn, like your brain doesn't even develop until you're like 22 all the way, So those were kind of some of my thoughts about how I wanted the song to be. And then we also looked at some reference songs as well. And those were just songs that we used to help, you know, figure out how we wanted things to sound, the same kind of messages that I wanted, but we do it in my way instead of their way. And so there were a lot of really great songs that I had referenced already. There was the whole Miley Can't Be Tamed album that I felt, so especially Can't Be Tamed, I felt like that song I resonated with, because I just felt like people were trying to tell me how to do things, and I just felt like I didn't have the freedom to do things that I wanted to do, and I just felt so tamed. And then there were other songs like Overprotected by Britney Spears that I felt was just so relatable. I felt like I had been overprotected, and that I hadn't learned things maybe like as soon as I felt like I should have learned them sooner rather than later, and that was kind of the situation there. And then there was another song like Lindsay Lohan's Rumors that was really popular in the early 2000s. Like, she felt like people were spreading lies and rumors about her life, and I think that really led her to do the things that she ended up doing, because she just felt like she couldn't get out of the spotlight. I mean, it's just the fame and stuff, but you don't have to be famous to experience feeling judgment from other people. That's definitely something. I mean, obviously, if you're famous, you experience things like 100 times more than somebody that doesn't, you know, isn't recognized as famous, you know. But you still get judged by people, because people will say things and whatnot, and it definitely plays a role into, like, the shame that you put into your life. And so I just really wanted to kind of show this rebellious type song that was getting my frustrations out with the world and like what they expected of me, and I just didn't feel like I could be me. I felt like everybody was telling me how to live, and I couldn't just do what I wanted to do, and all I wanted to do was just be me. I felt like even being me was wrong. Like, being the person that I was just being every day was wrong, and that led me to a lot of shameful places, and so that was definitely something that was not healthy for me at all. And so so then we decided to take some notes on how I was feeling about everything. So all my frustrations, fears, insecurities, anxieties, like just everything, you know, into like a piece of paper. So I just put up a Word document and I started typing everything that I felt. And as you'll see here, there's just a few things that I've written about how I felt. I felt judged by people. I felt like, you know, people weren't going to accept me because I didn't do this, or I did do this, and that was wrong to do that, or it wasn't right to do this, or, you know, like, just so many things that were just going in through my head, and it was just crazy. So then we took those ideas that I had written down, and we formed them into lyrics. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the lyrics, and specifically the lyrics that I wrote for Just Wanna Be Me, and kind of dive into the meaning behind a lot of those things. I mean, we talked about things here, but we'll kind of dive more into certain sentences and things like that, and just kind of how we put it together, and then with melody and other things. So I appreciate you guys watching this first part, and get ready for more to come in this video series. So thanks guys for watching. Bye.